This news is funded by viewers like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org/give. This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
The United Nations is warning Burma is pluming the depths of a human rights abyss as the military regime intensifies the killings and arbitrary arrests of tens of thousands of civilians since seizing power in a coup over 3 years ago. The gruesome findings are part of a new UN human rights report detailing how the Burmese military detained children who were taken from their parents. Dozens of those children have died in custody. We end today's show with Maung Zarni, a Burmese genocide scholar and human rights activist who's been a vocal critic of the Burmese junta and Israel's war on Gaza and the Israeli occupation.
In August, Maung Zarni traveled to the occupied West Bank and the Gaza border.
Here at this Rafah crossing, sandwiched between Israel and Egyptian borders, I feel like I am standing outside a giant concentration camp. When I see the tanks coming in and out, hearing airstrikes, I feel like I am once again visiting Auschwitz.
Maung Zarni, Burmese genocide scholar and human rights activist, joins us now from Kent, England, co-founder of the Forces of Renewal for Southeast Asia, or FORSI. Welcome back, Zarni, to Democracy Now! It's so important to have you with us. Talk about the groups you traveled to the Gaza border and to the West Bank with, and your thoughts, not only about what's happening there, but comparisons to what's going on, the horror that's going on in Burma right now.
Well, Amy, I am greatly indebted to the North American-based, particularly the U.S.-based rabbis for ceasefire and Christians for ceasefire, as well as the Jerusalem-based liberation theologian group called SAPIL. And these three organizations facilitated a visit of the 28-member delegation. And most of the delegates are, clergymen and clergywomen, and people of faith. And I'm, rather a humanist, human rights activist. But nonetheless, I joined them because I wanted to bear witness to what's happening. As you know, you have, covered my own native country of Burma for 30 years since we have known each other, and Burma and Israel. We regained, Burma regained independence in 1948. Israel established itself as a sovereign state in 1948. They had what Golda Meir called a love affair. And these two newly independent states, after the Second World War, are now undergoing the genocide trial or proceedings at the International Court of Justice. And so, Burma is no stranger when it comes to mass atrocities. What I found in Israel actually shocked me more than what I was prepared. I've studied genocide for decades, and I've studied Nazi genocide, Cambodian genocide, my own country's so-called Buddhist genocide of Rohingya people in Western Burma. But Israel has taken, the practices and policies of genocides to a whole new level. What I found there, I've said this as well in other forums, a vast ecosystem of genocidal methodologies or methods. That is to say, that Israel has invented very creatively a system of depopulating the pre-1967 Palestine land using different methods, subjecting different pockets of subpopulation of Palestinian, from Gaza as open-air prison to other various parts of West Bank 5 or 6 tier citizenships with a severely limited basic and fundamental rights, the severely, severe restriction of life's essentials like, access to food system, agricultural land, not just simply confiscating massive agricultural land, across Israel. The, chicken farms that Israeli companies run and settlers that have set up fantastic stone houses and communities fenced off have chickens. Let me put this way. Chickens in Israel, in Israeli companies, farm, have far more access to water and electricity than Palestinian villages and people. And checkpoints, 810-kilometer long wall, and it's not just for security purposes. It is actually the UN said it in 2005. The wall, 810-kilometer long wall, has been the prime driver behind mass deprivation. In other words, mass poverty of Palestinian people. And so it's rather frightening that Ramallah, it's a thriving, the city bubble. But, the locals tell me that, the Israeli IDF and security agency will come in and do anything they want, and Palestinian Authority is completely helpless, and they cannot do nothing. They cannot protect the Palestinian people, even in Ramallah. Forget about West Bank and other places. Land confiscation. We came very close to being tear gassed by the IDF because we were supporting the farm family that have been evicted after their farm has been confiscated in Jerusalem. UNESCO World Heritage agricultural areas, and so the Hebrew-speaking local colleagues in Jerusalem area who were with us told us that we need to vacate the place because the IDF is going to start firing tear gas and sand guns.
So Zarni, finally, we want to turn to what's going on in Burma. If you could respond to the new UN human rights report and their warning about what's going on in Burma.
Yeah, the UN human rights report cover, 1 year period since, spring of 2023. What it says, what it paints is an extremely disturbing picture of Burma, descending into this human rights abyss. If you're living there, it's a complete living hell. 3 million people being displaced by civil war between the army on one hand and various, the pro-democracy or pro-ethnic liberation armed groups. Then we got hit by the typhoon, over the last 10 days, and another 700,000 people they're displaced and dispossessed. And so the only problem is that in the past, the Burmese military, the junta, has been the #1 or sole perpetrator of egregious human rights crime. But since the coup 3 years ago, we have a mushrooming of, armed organizations, in the name of like a pro-democracy movement. And they join hands with different ethnic or ethno-nationalist organizations. And so there are organizations such as Arakan Army, which represent the Buddhist Rakhine in Western Myanmar. Now they are...
We have 15 seconds, Zarni.
Genocide. Yeah.
We want to thank you so much for being with us. Of course, we'll continue to cover what's happening in Burma and also in Gaza and the West Bank. Maung Zarni, Burmese dissident, human rights activist, scholar of genocide, co-founder of the Forces of Renewal for Southeast Asia, speaking to us from Kent. Very happy belated birthday to Sam Alcoff. That does it for our show. Democracy Now! Produced with Mike Burke, Renee Feltz, Dina Guzder, Messiah Rhodes, Nermeen Sheikh, Maria Tarasena, Tammy Warrenoff, Tarina Nadura, Sam Alcoff. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. Thanks for joining us. Democracy Now! Is funded by viewers like you. Please give today at democracynow.org/give.